Hello, hello, hello. Issue 26. What's going on?
26 already.
26.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Welcome, guys, to issue 26 of the Source Wall with myself, the Outlaw Red Hood, Josh, and we read comics. I'm not Isha, so I don't do the announcements as good as she does, but hey, we'll try on through this. What's everyone saying?
It's all good, man. Busy week. A lot of reading as well. Jeez.
Yeah, read a bit.
Mostly catching up, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we starting today?
All right, we're starting with Storm actress Alexandra Shipp.
So by Storm actress from the Apocalypse movie.
Yeah, the new one. The new
Still ain't seen that shit.
Do you know what's funny about this, actually? Say what it is, and then I'll say, go. What about her?
So she's saying that she wants her own Storm's spin-off film. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Right. I think that she's been drinking some of that same Kool-Aid that Halle Berry was drinking. Could you not remember a few years back Halle Berry was saying the same thing?
Yeah.
And
she said movie could work, but
not with Halle Berry.
Not with Halle Berry, no way.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. It could have worked with Halle Berry. Everything that she was in was shit.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think if she had a good director and someone that actually wrote Storm good, like there was nothing Storm about her. Storm was kind of just there.
Yeah,
it's true.
So she's saying she wants her own solo movie. Not yet, but I'm hoping it will come around to it. She's also saying that she wouldn't mind a story like her losing her powers or going back to Africa, or some message of this woman doesn't need a man. Just a movie about where the woman don't need anyone, kind of thing. So
I already don't want to watch that movie. It just sounded like clearly she's not a screenwriter. It just sounded like crap. It's like she saw Black Panther, was like, yeah, we should do that for Storm. I'm Storm, let's do that. And then the whole thing about not needing a man. Where did they say that Storm needed a man?
Hey, exactly.
It's just like feeding. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? That's just BS. I'm not on it.
It could be a good film still, though. It could be a good film.
As long as she ain't writing it.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, she's got a lot of power. She's got a lot of followers in Africa as well, in the comics as well. So
she does. Remember,
it could work. Something like that could work. But we all know we want to. I don't know. Do we actually want a Storm and T'Challa film, or them meeting and
if
they could meet?
Yeah, it'd be cool if they met. If bloody Disney does get X-Men, then fine. I would love to see it. And I think in the right hands, a Storm movie could be good. I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I just think where X-Men is now, a Storm movie would not work.
I mean,
we saw what happens when Wolverine got his own movie.
Yeah, I think she's too young for now. I think so. I think she's just a bit too young to do a movie. Maybe something like maybe her and someone else goes off somewhere and they do their thing. But her on her own,
body cop movie sort of thing.
Yeah, something like that. But her on her own, I don't think so.
Well, the only way I would see, because I don't remember too much. Like when I used to read X-Men, it was like ages ago, like in the 90s and the early 2000s. So I haven't really been reading it well. I don't know anything. But in the animated series, when they done that episode with the Shadow King, they had like the flashbacks of her in Africa and how Professor Xavier went to meet her and stuff like that. Because in these X-Men films, they always do this shit where there's shit happening in the past or something like that. I think that would be a more interesting story. And then maybe there's some kind of conflicts that's happening in the present day that has some kind of, you know, juxtaposition with whatever was happening in the past.
Yeah.
And then it kind of comes to this kind of, you know, the bait movie kind of stuff or whatever. But that would be, if they were doing Storm in Africa or whatever, like her as a kid being a pickpocket and all this stuff or whatever, and discovering her powers and shit like that. That would be dope.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, that would
be a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, yeah, not for now. Not until Disney,
no one wants it yet.
No one's asking for it yet.
That's the flex DC would do. Like, what's that? Yeah, let's do it now. 12 Storm movies. In alternate universes.
Do you remember what they used to do back in I think it was early 2000s or maybe late 90s, where they had like I'm sure it was late 90s, and they would release one set of comics, like it would be Rogue, and then they'll release her set of comics, and then you would have Gambit, and then they would have Storm. I wouldn't maybe something a bit like that, where they just have one film, and then the next year it's another add-on film, just to kind of get to know the characters a bit. But in the middle of them having a full-blown X-Men film or an X-Factor film, something like that, you know what I mean?
Brainstorm. Even though this would never happen, but I would think it would be so cool. Basically what you just said. And, you know, similarly, you have, obviously, there's a it's not a ongoing story, but the world continues in the Marvel Universe as is. So when you get to the next film, the events that happened in previous films may have an effect and stuff like that. But what if, like, the actual story of, like, a main film, like, say, for example, you got Avengers, but those events in Avengers all happened in different characters' films. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, if you had the X, because it would be like the first for some, because no one would have done this before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the X-Men all have the same way you would have a TV series, and you would have maybe it would focus on the character and you see their backstory and stuff like that or whatever, or they have their own side story that's happening in the present day, as well as the whole big
thing narrative that's happening.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe like if you was watching Father or something like that, like how it's like one story or whatever that goes across, but then there's stuff that happens in the past and then there's stuff that happens. But with X-Men,
exactly. So I think that's something like, I think something like that would work with X-Men, where like you have like one main film, like how the Avengers or how Marvel, MCU does it, but they do it like you get the Avengers like every 2 years or something like that. But you have like one main film, either X-Men, X-Force, or something from the main team, but then you'd also release a standalone film, maybe once or twice, depending on how good you can do it. But it's imperative that it's kind of more, it's tight, as in the film stories are all, like you said, connected in a sense. Because the reason why I'm saying is because there's so many X-Men characters that it's going to be impossible to kind of put them all in one film, and kind of, so this kind of thing will kind of spread them out a bit. You get to, instead of like having a film where there's 5, 6, 10 characters in the film and there's no character development, you're actually kind of getting the development on a separate film, or even like a TV series, a spin-off TV series.
Yeah.
X-Men's a huge world on its own, isn't it? Even though it's set in like a grander, scale of things, but it's on its own. X-Men is huge.
Yeah. How do you feel about like movie actors? Like, because they do it now anyway, where they were acting movies, but then they're in TV series as well.
What playing the role they play in a movie?
Yeah. So like you only got one episode or 2 episodes of Samuel L. Jackson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think we need to see more of that. To be honest, let's use the MCU as the focal point. I think we need more of it, just so, because they release these things and say, yeah, it's part of this. All of this is happening. This happened. and these guys are living their lives. It would be nice if there was more than just a mention of you know, Thor or Captain America or the big green dude. If somebody just, and even like say if it was Daredevil, but you know, it doesn't even have to be the movies. It could be like Coulson. Here's about this girl with superpowers in wherever Jessica Jones lives, and goes to see him for whatever reason. He's Shield. He has to keep these people in check.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just more of it. Just more. Even that one thing alone, if it was Agents of Shield, will connect all the other Netflix stuff to the movies. Just Coulson alone. You know, I think more of it needs to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
The Netflix leader, I forgot his name, and Kevin Feige just needs to sit down and have a coffee and be like, "Look, what we're doing
here." Yeah, for real. Let's just have a little zoot or something and just make amends. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, not for now, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, good thing she wants it. She's got whatever.
Yeah, I mean that Dark Phoenix film ain't coming out until like February next year, so gonna have to wait for that.
I forgot that was even a thing. I don't know anything about it. Nothing. Zero.
Yeah. So speaking of films and multiple films,
I was gonna say Storm.
Yeah.
She was one of the characters that I was excited for when X-Men Apocalypse came out, and I was just
same. Because Apocalypse it's like Egypt and Africa, and I thought it would be like she would be not the main character, but one of the main characters, and she had a bit more development. But she was it was a bit rubbish.
She's probably aware of that, and she just wants to. She's probably aware of that. She probably is pushed to the back in this new movie, and she just thought, you know, I'm going on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe someday.
Yeah, someday.
What's next anyway?
Someday we'll have 2 Joker movies
with 2 different actors.
2 different actors. So apparently, this one of the new Joker movies has got a working title now.
Really?
Yeah. This is not the one with Jay Leto. It's the one with Joaquin Phoenix. Although Joaquin Phoenix, he was in Gladiator. He's old school, man. Well, not old school.
Is he that guy who was the emperor or whatever in Gladiator?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a. Okay. He could be a Joker.
He's sick. He is a sick actor. Definitely a sick actor. But they haven't actually confirmed that he's the Joker or he's even in it. But yeah, they've got a working title. I'm trying to find it actually. I thought I
Romeo.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Romeo. So this one, Romeo. This one's a Elseworld kind of.
Is DC coming out and saying it that it's an Elseworlds? Are they telling us that?
It seems like it. It does seem like
it. They haven't said it though.
They haven't said it.
It's everyone is reporting it as such.
Yeah.
But they haven't turned around and said, "Yeah, we're doing Elseworlds," or all these films are going to be Elseworlds or anything. They're just like, "Yeah, here's a working title. So it's going to be called this when we're done."
DC, man.
It's just they didn't even name DCEU either. They didn't. That wasn't them calling it that. So
well, they called it the DCFU, motherfuckers.
Yeah, DCFU.
That's slap in the face again.
I don't know why they just don't call it the DCCU.
What was the C for?
Cinematic.
Detective Comics Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
That's what I thought they were gonna. I know they didn't want it to sound like Marvel, but let's just be real. That's what it is. It's the DCCU, and I don't know why they just don't call it that. Anyway,
it might as well be.
It might as well be. But anyway, you were saying.
So yeah, this is going to be a kind of Elseworlds. As we know, Jay Leto is Jared Leto. He's doing his own movie spin-off from the Suicide Squad. So this one is going to be a Elseworld type film. So and they're actually filming in September in New York. They're starting.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah, that's soon. So
Damn.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to be the Joker. It seems like it.
Okay.
Because if they're shooting that soon, I'm sure they would have had an actor on the cards.
That's true. Yeah, they wouldn't just. I mean, they could shoot all the scenes without him.
Well,
it's the ones
I
that
wouldn't put it past them.
Let's just get that one done first. DC, man, sort it out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm interested in the sense that I just want to know what DC is doing, what they're on. I don't know.
Yeah, I think everyone wants to know what they're doing. But like we said last week, Jeff Johns is now. I don't know whether he would have probably been involved with this too much, but
yeah,
they definitely need someone strong-headed, DC kind of history who knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Could be good.
Jeff Johns was that guy, wasn't he? It's Jim Lee now, isn't it?
Yeah. Jim Lee now.
I don't know. I feel like Jeff Johns was right for the job.
Yeah.
Too much for him. He needs to be on the grind. He needs to be working, fam.
Yeah.
Like he's not the man to be in the office. Like it's cool because his ideas are sick or whatever. But if he's the one that's having to make sure that everyone else is working and he's not the one working, look how long Doomsday clock's been.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Like, why we still ain't got the free Jokers yet? That's because
exactly.
man's doing paperwork instead of doing paperwork. Fam. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Man, I hope they're not free Jokers, but that's a different story for another day.
Yeah. Speaking of DCFUs and their films, they released some official photos from the EW magazine.
Okay.
Don't know if you guys saw that.
I did.
Some Black Manta, Ocean Master, Queen Atlanta, and Vulko.
Queen Atlanta. Oh,
Is it?
Queen of Atlanta. Her name's Mira.
What's her name? Mira. Sorry.
Mira. Yeah.
No.
Aquaman's wife.
No. It's Queen Atlanta. Aquaman's mother, isn't it?
Oh, his mom. I was looking at the picture with Mira. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I think Nicole Kidman's playing her.
Oh, is it? Yeah, actually, I think I heard that. Yeah. All right, cool.
Right, I've got to say, Amber Heard looking nice.
Yeah, she does.
That Mary, bro, she looks just like the comic, fam.
That's so bizarre how much like the comic she looks. She looks the most authentic.
Yeah.
Anyone in these
like
DC
she
movies.
stepped out the book, fam. She looks like she stepped out the book.
So creepy how good she looks as yeah, good for them. Best casting I've ever seen in a superhero movie.
Wow, I want to say that.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Christopher Reeves, fam. Christopher Reeves, fam.
Tony Stark.
Oh no, yeah, I forgot about that.
Downey
Yeah,
Jr.
Yeah,
You know,
Robert Downey Jr.
Even Captain America.
Yeah.
No?
I'm sorry, she looks. Someone in the future will be able to play Captain America just as well. Looks wise, just like Chris Evans did. You'll be like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But I'm saying this girl looks like she is Queen Mira. That's all I'm saying.
She does look buff. Buff thing. So yeah. What do you think of Black Manta?
Do you know? I only found out he was black recently. Like not like within recent years.
As in the character.
Yeah, the character. And then I was like, why does he have to? Why can't he just be called Manta? I know that's not what you asked, but
okay.
I was right. I mean, I'm not seeing much of him. He looks like he could play a black guy wearing a helmet. I guess.
Yeah.
That's his character. He's not doing anything. It's just an image still.
Yeah, true.
He looks alright.
But I liked him in Black Lightning. So I think
was this guy in Black Lightning?
Is he in Black Lightning?
Yeah, that's the guy from Black Lightning.
Who is he?
Nick.
No,
I don't remember.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
the one that gets killed, and then he
In the
comes
beginning.
back.
Oh, really?
The henchman guy.
Boy, do you know what? I stopped watching that. That's right. I didn't finish Black Lightning, so I don't remember what anybody looks
Yeah,
like.
I didn't either.
It's
Yeah.
too much.
What's his name again? Patrick Wilson.
I can't remember.
Mr. Wilson.
Let's use the power of the internet to discover these facts.
It's not Patrick Wilson. I can't remember. What was his name again?
I honestly don't know. But if it's him, isn't he cheating?
Oh, it's not him. It's the guy from what's it called?
The Get Down.
The Get Down fam, the disco guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, is that him?
Yeah.
Yahya Abdul Mateen the second.
Yahya Sanogo fam. Yeah.
Shaolin. Is it Shaolin?
Yeah. No,
Shaolin, man.
Which
the
one
disco
you
guy? The guy
the one
that
danced.
owns the place. Yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. He was all right in the Get Down. So he might bring some much needed
funk to the black man.
Yeah. He might do it. He's an all right actor. I think he'll do it right. You know, as long as he's got a good script and good direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I am. I'm just hesitant.
I just keep forgetting about it.
Yeah.
They ain't really dropped shit. Look how long ago we first saw Aquaman.
Yeah. Speaking of
4 years ago or something like that.
Speaking of which, they should be dropping the trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah.
Top.
So that's like next month.
This movie needs some promotion because I feel like there's so much anticipation for like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Infinity Wars when that was on its way out. Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
And this is DC's next movie, and it's just been dead. It's just been flatlined. Where's the anticipation? Where does?
Yeah, I know. Do you know what else?
It's going to be now, isn't it? They're going to drop it at Comic-Con, and then the hype train's going to start, innit? If they do it right, otherwise the train will be delayed. Waiting at the station, stuck in the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? It's bare
change platform.
Bare people, and then everyone's just waiting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. Just a quick rant. We're getting Ant-Man a month late. A month after. Yeah, that's dead, man.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying that before, and I was just thinking World Cup has to. You know what? I can't say nothing about the World Cup. That's people aren't going to go see the film, are they? If the World Cup's going on.
It's not as if we're going to be in the World Cup at that time anyway. So
yeah, you never know.
I doubt it, mate.
Yeah. Still something to look forward to, man.
Yeah, definitely. As long as I remember that it's out, that's fine. And William Dafoe is going to be Valko as well, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm sure.
I've always liked him as an actor.
Yeah, I really like William Dafoe.
You know?
I said I do. I like
William
Dafoe.
Right.
I really like William Dafoe. He's cool.
Yeah.
Had that Green Goblin down.
To live and die in LA. Yeah. That's a film. Speaking of films, Wonder Woman, 1984, which is probably the title that they're not going to use. But I don't know how to feel about this. The invisible jet has been spotted, in a sense. Have you guys seen the video?
No,
hanging by the wires.
Yeah. Should I have said spoiler before?
Fuck that, man. Don't matter. What does Wonder Woman have? A lasso,
that's gonna be
some
all over
cuffs,
the internet.
invisible jet.
I think DC has got some of the corniest things in its history, like Green Lanterns being
weak to yellow, weak to wood.
Yeah. Somebody was weak against wood. I can't remember.
That was Green Lantern as well.
Was that Green Lantern as well? Oh,
yeah, man.
Boy.
Anyway. Kill him with a number 2 pencil, fam.
Yeah. Just weird little things like that, and obviously, Diana having like an invisible plane, and it's just some things should be left alone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how it
doesn't
can
need to
work.
be a movie. The thing is, with her invisible plane, it doesn't cloak her.
No, yeah, but that's the thing as well. So it just looks
but I think they
weird.
might do it, and it might be like a joke or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe. There's been other things where they've done it as a joke, and then it's funny. I can't remember. I can't think of an example.
Are you talking about Robot Chicken?
Was it? Well, yeah, Robert. But I mean, actual in comics or the animated movies where they might mention that she has an invisible plane, and you're like, that's a nice throwback. But to actually see it, it's kind of like.
Was that in one of the recent animated films? I think I
watched it recently, but I can't think what.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in I don't know if you guys saw the animated movie Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
Or is it Crisis on Two Earths, whatever it's called? And at the end, she takes the invisible plane and the flaps into it because he couldn't see it. So that was them saying that's how she got her invisible plane.
But I swear, is it in the New 52 or I don't know, whichever one it is. It might have been in one of her other origin stories that she got the invisible jet, and the invisible jet's actually an alien.
Oh, is it? I don't remember that one.
And he could shapeshift into anything or whatever, and something like he's obsessed with her or in love with her or something like that or whatever, and then he decides to stay as her invisible jet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's like some stalkerish kind of
It does sound familiar, but I don't remember that. Oh man, well, I'm sure DC will make a very good Wonder Woman movie.
I hope so. I really hope it's a good one. The first one's was it needed a bit more work.
I liked it. I thought that was a really cool movie.
Mr. Trevor's back as well.
What?
Mr. Trevor is back as well.
Steve Trevor.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be back. I think he's an illusion.
You reckon?
Or
maybe it's the shape-shifting invisible plane that's in his.
I think it's going to be something like it's Cersei doing some magic or something. I don't think he's going to come back. If he comes back, I'll be pissed because I was like, man died like how he was meant to die from.
By the way.
And why is he in the 80s? Like, is
he died in World War One.
Did someone just decide to bring him back? If he got brought back then, how come he still hasn't aged? Like what? It's dumb. No.
Cool. We'll see.
We'll see how that turns out.
See how it goes. Yeah. I don't know, man. All right. What else is next?
Ralph Dibny in The Flash. He's going to be a series regular.
Okay.
Which I kind of thought he was anyway, because he was in quite a lot of episodes last season.
I think when they do things like that, it's still guest starring.
Yeah.
Such and such actor. I suppose this time it'll just be his name in the credits. What does everyone think of that?
Yeah, I like the character. I did like him. Although the only thing is, I do wish it was Plastic Man.
I wish it was. I said that last week. Like it was. They blatantly give him Plastic Man's personality, and I wish if they do that. And I swear, in the comics, I might be wrong, that Elongated Man is a scientist, and I know Starlight already has. Is he not?
I don't think he is actually. I think he was a detective.
He was a private eye. Okay, I
think so. I could be wrong. I'm not the. I'm not the DC.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I get my history mixed up with these characters, but. Either way, I think his character was decent. He annoyed me at first, but I got used to it. I guess I got used to him. He became. You know what was bothering me about his character? There was one episode where it's like he was scared and he wasn't sure if he wanted to be a hero.
Yeah.
And then the Flash gave him a pep talk, and then he saved the world. And he's like, "Yeah, I can do this." And then it was like an episode or two later, he had the same problem.
Yeah.
It was so fillery with that season.
This season of the Flash was so slow.
It was. His
character development was a bit waste. It's like it will go forward and then go backwards.
Yeah.
I hope they do him better this season, this upcoming season.
Yeah, I hope so. But you know, the season before, I was hoping that they'll do a lot better job with Wally West. So that was the Flashpoint thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was bloody difficult. What's the word I'm looking for?
Shit.
God, yeah,
Rubbish.
that's not the word. Yeah, disappointed. Sorry, guys, I'm tired. Disappointed because I actually thought they were gonna do the whole, like you said, Flashpoint. It would have been, even they gave him one episode, even 2 episodes would have been fine, but they gave him half an episode.
Not even an episode. That was like half an episode. That was rubbish, man. Yeah, it was a disappointing season, but and even more disappointing right at the end as well. It's like, oh, he could have done that ages ago, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a shame. But
I'm not gonna lie, I can't even remember how it
ended. Spoilers. The girls decided to actually formally talk to them, even though she's she's been talking to them throughout the whole season.
Bullshit. The whole season was bullshit.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
Do you know what isn't bullshit?
Myself through it. Yeah, go on.
Lucifer getting cancelled. That was bullshit. Because Netflix has come to save the day. So yeah.
Yeah, I have not even watched Lucifer before, but good for the fans.
I do need to get back on it because you know, sometimes when you watch a series and it's a really good series, but then you've just stopped watching it for some reason. Yeah, it's one of those. For me, it was one of those. I really liked it, but I think we was watching too many things and we just kind of just stopped watching it. But it was good. It was pretty sick and it was funny as well. Okay. So you know, it had the sense of humor.
My brother, shout out to Slim. I think he was watching it as well, and he said it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
He was watching it before the other channel had it. Was it Prime had it before, wasn't it?
It's on Amazon Prime over here. Yeah. But in the States, I can't remember who's got it. Okay. Fox, I think it is. Yeah, Fox.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Fox getting rid of a load of things. Netflix just keeps buying up everything, man.
Netflix needs to just be careful with what they're buying, man.
Oh man, do you know what? I'll talk about it in the reviews because I read their new comic because basically they brought Miller World.
Oh yeah, I remember you or somebody saying before.
Yeah, and they just released their first comic, and it is pretty decent, man.
Okay.
It is pretty decent, and I would love for them to do a little TV series on that because I think it'll be pretty sick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the future of Netflix. See what's squanning.
As long as they don't raise the prices of my fee too much, I'm good.
Yeah, for real.
But when that's the stage, cheap.
Innit?
Oh man.
Do you know what else is staying though?
What's that?
I keep interrupting you guys for the little.
I love it. It's hilarious.
Alex Kurtzman. He's got a 5-year mission with CBS to expand the Star Trek universe. So last week, I think, did we talk about it last week about a couple of showrunners getting? I think they were fired or they.
That's my recollection.
I don't think we did. No.
So basically, a couple of showrunners left the Star Trek Discovery, and Alex Kurtzman got brought in.
Okay.
So now he's got a deal with CBS to work with Star Trek for 5 years, and basically what he will be doing is a TV series. It'll be a TV show, a live action TV show. It'll be kind of in the same vein as Gossip Girls and Marvel Runaways. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a teen series. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think they might do like the Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. A limited series based on the Wrath of Khan as well. And also an animated series. So animated Star Trek. Yeah.
Oh. Have we had one of those before?
Yeah, we had the old original Star Trek animated series, but that was before I was. I think that was before I was born, anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So in our time, we've not had one. That'll be interesting to see if done right.
Yeah, hopefully. Right. Really hope so, because
would they be...
Go on.
Sorry. Would they be intertwined, these shows?
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, wouldn't that be the whole point of expanded universe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes these people say one thing and then do a complete. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it'd be cool if it's connected and yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because obviously it'll be on their all access show. So and it is a new TV. Well, it's a new service. So they are looking for more programs to be on it, and I think that should boost it up. I think live action series, a mini series, and animation.
Animated one. I think the animated one would kill it, to be honest.
Yeah, I really hope they get some good animators as well.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Like Young Justice, good. Do you love Young Justice?
I can't wait for that. Actually, I'm sure it won't be for another couple of years, at least for the animated series.
I'd be more interested in that than the live action stuff because I love cartoons, but
yeah,
it'll be cool. It'll be cool. I would love to see it if they do this, an animated Star Trek series and a couple other ones that you guys can watch. All good.
Also, Scarlett Riley just in the chat. Hey, Scarlett.
Riley.
I think I know who that is.
I mean, it's clearly a play on Ben Riley. I get it, but
yeah,
that is.
I was thinking it might be someone. But he was saying Patrick Stewart is rumored to be coming back on board on Star Trek as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
that'll be all right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Cool. I'd love to see Captain Picard again. Wait, Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah.
I don't want to see a time travel thing or one of those.
It needs to be in the future, fam.
Yeah. He needs to be aged. He needs to have seen it all.
Yeah, Admiral Picard.
Yeah, he needs to have just gone up the ranks.
Yeah,
yeah. That's where I started watching Star Trek. Next Generation. He was that was my captain. He was so sick. He was so sick.
He was my favorite one as well. Yeah. I didn't even like Star Trek before then either. It wasn't until I moved with my dad and he was watching it. I just got into it and it was just converted.
I just watched anything in space, fam. Anything that was in space, like Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica. But what was the other one? Babylon 5.
Babylon 5. That was
yeah, I remember. Do you remember?
If it was in space, I watched it.
Do you remember? What's that called? Space something.
Was it Nickelodeon?
No, it was on. I think it was on Sky One, and it's with the guy from Avatar, the guy in the mech suit. Space Above and Beyond. That's it.
Oh God, I remember that, but I didn't watch it.
That was sick. That was good.
Maybe I didn't watch everything in space.
Yeah, that was sick. It had a good intro as well. I need to send it to you.
But, what was the one I was thinking of? Space Cadets. That's what I was thinking of. That was on Nickelodeon.
Okay, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that. But
the Black Ranger was in it.
Okay. Wait, which Black Ranger?
Original OG.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I never heard of that show.
Yeah, Space Cadets.
I don't remember that. I was supposed to watch the other one, the with the Cylons, because I heard that was really good. What was that called, Josh?
Of what? Sorry.
The space show with the Cylons. It used to be an old school one. And then they renewed it, and it was like
in Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to watch that, but I never got round to it, man.
Okay, I didn't watch that one at all.
Yeah, that's supposed to be real good.
Dips in and out of an episode, but didn't watch it religiously.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing one. You know, there was one rubbish one I used to come on with. What's her face? What's his Lawrence Fishburne's wife? It was like Cleopatra 2520. Did anyone watch that? It was so horrible. So like, you know, Cleopatra from history was taken to the future.
Oh my days.
25.
25, yeah.
Oh wow. This is like proper old school. Oh my days. No, I don't remember watching this at all.
No, it was rubbish.
I don't remember that. It looks like some book's version of Charmed in the future.
Yeah, I don't even know why it popped into my head. I was just trying to think of spaceship. Oh man.
And they're gonna be cold in space.
Yeah, they weren't wearing anything.
Nah, they're not wearing jack. I'm sure that the black lady, she's
Lawrence Fishburne's wife. She used to be in Angel for a bit. She was Jasmine in Angel, and she's in a few things.
Yeah, she has got that type of face. That familiar face.
Well, as in black woman from that film.
Yeah, kind of.
Like black guy from that film. That's in
the film. I remember seeing her in something, but I can't remember what. I'm just digging myself deeper.
No, it's
fine.
But talking about digging, well, it's not really. But okay, so explain to me DC Crisis. They've got a new Crisis coming up, right?
Right. So
from what I heard, Buck Rogers, yeah, I remember that. Sorry. From what I heard, Jim Lee recently said that there's a rumor going around about a new Crisis. There is no Crisis going on, and now we're hearing that there's a new Crisis.
Right. So there is a new Crisis, and I think this is. I think they're just going to call it DC Crisis. I don't think it's going to get a proper title this time.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, that's I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So, or it's going to be called Heroes in Crisis. That's the issue 1, I think. What it is the guy. What's his name? Tim, who writes Batman right now?
Tom King.
Yeah, he wants to, because he was in the military or something like that, or CIA.
Yeah, CIA.
So basically, he wants to do a storyline on what it's like for superheroes with PTSD.
Ah.
Yeah. So he's written this thing where superheroes go to this place in Nebraska, in America, called the Sanctuary. Sanctuary is a place for superheroes who can go get some therapy on when they've dealt with street superheroism or space superheroism, just what they do. If it's cosmic or they're regular villains or anything, if they have PTSD, they go to the Sanctuary and I don't know, they will talk out their feelings, have R&R, you know. And it was founded by the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And what happens in the story apparently is that a few heroes in the Sanctuary get killed.
Oh wow!
And I think it seems like, if I might have misread this bit or forgotten, or my memory's already getting mixed up, that it might be a hero who's done it, who's killed some of the heroes. I might have misread that bit.
Oh,
but Booster Gold and Harley Quinn are supposed to be two have pivotal roles in the storyline, and it's gonna have Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Trying to solve it.
Yeah, trying to solve what's going on, because obviously it's their place.
Yeah.
Apparently in this comic, there's just a little bit of information about the Sanctuary. Is that it's a safe place for superheroes to deal with their traumas from their violent lives. Apparently, in the comic continuity, it was built 5 years ago by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. The outside world doesn't know about Sanctuary, only the superheroes know about it, and they're not supposed to talk about it. It's like Fight Club.
Is that their way of explaining it not actually existing before?
Basically, only superheroes know about it. Once you've been there, you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And no one's there either. It's just like robots.
Yeah, it's just robots on holograms.
Kryptonian technology, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's Kryptonian technology. And then
Oh,
it's just got
really?
how
Oh,
these people,
sick.
yeah, and it's
Right.
got how people feel about the place. So Batman sees the sanctuary as a necessity. Wonder Woman sees it as a kindness, and Superman sees it as good. Um, and then at the end it just says, and now everyone who was at the sanctuary who was is dead.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Jeez.
now I found another thing out reading a different article about this crisis, and this article is basically saying how whenever there's a crisis in DC, it alters everything. We've had, crisis in into Infinite Earths, and everything always changes. One of them, Barry Allen, died. Yeah, Barry Allen died, and he was dead for like 30 years. It's only like recently within the New 50, well, before the New 52, he came back in, not Flashpoint, Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
Not DC Rebirth 2016, but Flash Rebirth. And basically, it's been said that a lot of things are going to change in this crisis. It's going to retcon things again, which I think is a horrible idea. Because the article I was reading was saying you've got Superman and Batman who are basically married now, as in not now in comics they're married with basically and their dads. They got,
yeah.
They're married and they've
got
got
kids.
kids.
Married to each other.
Might as well be.
Sorry, that's probably the way I deliver it. Superman and Batman each are married to Lois and Selena Kyle, and they've both got kids. Do you know what I mean? They're like parents, and it's basically saying the comics are doing really, really well, and it seems really progressive with what's happening. And I think to retcon it now, especially because they're selling, they're really, really selling. They're selling more. They're selling more than Marvel at the moment. If that's right, or at least they're producing.
I think so. I think they are.
Or at least they're producing better books anyway.
Yeah, but I think Marvel's doing loads of bloody variant comics and stuff. So
I'm just thinking it's a shame with this crisis that they're going to retcon things, and a lot of what's made.
What is that? 100% though.
I think that's what the article was saying.
Because for me, they literally just done a retcon. Literally.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Rebirth is literally just, like you said. Rebirth
for me,
retcon.
yeah,
exactly.
The thing is that Rebirth and after Doomsday Clock is finished. Because for me, I feel like Doomsday Clock will be wherever that ends is where the universe is going to go.
That's what I thought.
Because the whole Rebirth and Doomsday Clock, and Metal and everything, it all seemed like it was tied together. You know what I'm saying? And we would find out as we went where the ties were, where they were happening in this continuity. And then now it's a bit like if they're going to retcon, I'll be like, what's the point? You literally just fixed everything, and they fixed it so good because they was like, oh, do you know what? The New 52, it did happen in this universe, but there's a reason for that, and here's the reason, and they're telling us that now.
Yeah.
So unless at the end of it, that's my hand goes, all right, yeah, cool, I'm changing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems illogical.
Yeah, I hope they don't do the thing that they did with Secret Wars with Marvel, where actually, like you're saying, they're leading up to a reboot, or at least explaining, and then just right at the end, just don't do it.
Yeah. Or
do it in a different way, like from another book. Because this story sounds interesting, but there's nothing in it to tell me that sounds like it's going to be a retcon. I mean,
yeah, I know it seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
Especially because like Josh was saying, we've had Metal, which was great. It was so good. And then we've had Doomsday Clock, and I thought those were going to be the big events of.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So for that, I think it's great that they're bringing back a DC Crisis, because that was DC's thing. Do you get what I mean? But I don't think anything.
Maybe it's a crisis in a way of like Civil War was, in the sense that are the heroes doing the right things?
Yeah, maybe.
Or are they as bad as the criminals because of this sanctuary that's happening and no one knows about it?
I just went back to that article that I was reading, the first one I read, and it said the title of it is "The Next DC Crisis May Remove Batman and Superman's Marriages," which Do you know what?
Nah, man.
And then it says earlier today, this basically it says reveals a well-sourced rumor that the next big event from DC Comics would be simply called Crisis, and yes, would be a reboot. Now, I'm taking it with a grain of salt because you know this article came out in May 11th of this year. So it's other stuff has probably been said since then, but the other stuff that I read to you earlier is obviously a definite about it being called about the sanctuary and
yeah.
like that. But I'm hoping that this is just wrong and that because
I think it is, because think about it, yeah, even when Batman gets married to
they've just done that. Why would they retcon it?
Not even the retconning. Something's gonna happen. That them getting married is for a reason. Like something's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Something's gonna happen at this wedding, and it's not gonna be as oh yeah, Batman and Cap. When does Batman ever just go and do stuff and everything's all right? You know what I'm saying? And if this when this wedding gets fucked up, yeah, what you're gonna turn around and go, oh yeah, they never got married. So
yeah. Do you know what? The other thing is Tom King is writing those Batman books, and he's the one he's the one who's saying Batman and Catwoman are gonna get married, and he's gonna be writing these Sanctuary books, I think. So to retcon what he's just written a few months back would be stupid.
A bit weird.
But retconning aside, I think it sounds like fun that they've got this secret, you know, therapy place, this spa that they go to. That part sounds interesting, and it will be interesting to see which superheroes are going to get killed, and who's killing them. And yeah, I think it seems interesting. I'm excited for it. I'll definitely be getting this.
Same.
I mean, I'm excited for this. Sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm trying to think. This is exciting. DC does really good, huge stories. Obviously, you know, Metal was great. Loving Doomsday Clock, and you know they've got other history of their crises.
Yes.
So no, just look out for it, everybody. I'm sure it'll be a great read.
Yeah, definitely.
My heavens.
All right. Yeah, it does sound great. I'm definitely on it. See how it goes, but I just hope it's not a reboot.
Nah.
So speaking of what we're gonna read, we're just gonna have a quick talk about what we did read this week.
Splendid.
I've read quite a lot actually, and it was quite hard to kind of decide which one to review.
Yeah. But you went on.
I was reading Marvel's 2-in-1, Thor issue 1. That was dope. That was dope. Man of Steel, I'm starting to go off it for some reason.
Still haven't read my issue 1 yet.
Yeah, I'm just starting to go off. I don't know why, but
didn't get 4 today.
Yeah, I mean I think it's only 6 issues anyway, so I will still read it, but
still.
Yeah, but I'm just losing interest in it, to be fair. The Magic Order, which was sick. Mr. Miracle, which was also sick, and Analog. I'm just going to quickly go through Magic Order at the moment. Okay. As I said earlier, it's Mark Millar and Olivier Coupel. I'm probably butchering that name. But basically, Netflix has, I think they brought Miller World. So they've got a deal where they would, I'm not sure if they would, like, they'll be publishing the comics through them. I think. I could be wrong. But they're massively involved with Miller World now. So they're bringing out a bunch of comics through Netflix. And it seems like they may be doing, like we said last week, they'll be rebooting. What was it called again? Hit Girl and.
Oh yeah, I was telling somebody about that as well.
Yeah. So it seems like they'll be making. Hopefully, they'll make a series of this because the Magic Order was pretty dope. So basically, what it is a bunch of magicians and sorcerers. They kind of they're not hired, but they're there to protect the world from mysticism and demons and things like that. It's kind of like a family thing as well. So throughout the generations, you'll have like father, the grandfather, who are there to protect the world. But there's it starts off with a couple of guys looking over into the next building, and there's a couple sleeping with each other, and suddenly one of the guys, he takes over the kid, and the kid walks to the kitchen, grabs a knife, and basically kills the dude.
Jeez.
I don't want to say too much, but it's all an introduction. So you get introduced to like 3 or 4 different characters, and you quickly understand what the book's about and what is happening. You might need to give it a couple reads, only because, like I said, it's a family, kind of a family story, not a family story, but there's family involved.
Yeah.
So you've got like the father and son and the brother as well, and they kind of look similar. So I was finding myself going back a few pages and kind of looking at, is this the same person or is this someone else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the artwork is very good. Other than that, the artwork is pretty amazing. It's a easy read, pretty easy read, and the story is compelling as well. So I'm looking forward to issue 2, and like I said, hopefully, I think this will be a pretty dope TV series or film, definitely.
Okay, cool. What was it called again?
The Magic Order.
Okay.
Definitely recommend getting it. It's 38 pages as well, so
That's not too bad.
you know, and it's the first book from the partnership with Netflix. I don't usually read the editorial at the end either, but basically he was saying that he what the deal's about, what they're going to be doing, and he's saying that it's just going to be all stories. No, they're going to get the best artists and the best writers on board. So, you know, I think some good things are going to happen with Miller World and their comics coming up.
Okay, cool.
Next one, I was going to do Analog. Analog was pretty good. It's a good read. It's kind of like a pickup. He's got to go to Japan to do a delivery. And a lady friend of his, she goes to this place where there's some like racist Nazi guys, and she kind of fucks them all up pretty much. But she puts, there's only one left, and he's in the hospital. The unfortunate thing is that he's seen her face. So the character, I can't even remember his name now. Sorry, I can't remember his name.
That's all right.
But he's got to kind of protect her. So he's got to finish the job somehow. It's a really good read. Like I said, I should have went more into it, but yeah, it's a good read. I'll definitely recommend Analog as well.
I know.
And Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle is just something else. It's funny. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy.
Is Tom King writing that one as well?
He is. He's writing it. I don't even want to say much about it. They're at war with New Genesis, and they're trying to broker a deal. And all it is just himself and I can't remember this character's name. They're basically trying to break a deal, so they'll be at peace for some time.
Wait,
but it's
who's at war? New Genesis and Apocalypse?
Yeah, it's I can't remember this character's name.
Calabac. No.
Calabac.
Yeah,
Is that
Calabac.
Yeah. So he's obviously trying to talk to Mr. Miracle on behalf of Darkseid.
Yeah.
And for instance, he needs to find a toilet, Mr. Miracle. So one of Calabac's guys goes with him and shows him where the toilet is, because they're on is it Apocalypse?
Apocalypse, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're walking around, like there's a scene with they're at a table and there's prisoners holding who are holding the table up. So they're pretty much the table legs.
Yeah.
And so he walks into the toilet. He's trying to make chit chat, and basically the toilet is just a big pit, a big hole, and so they're peeing, and he spits, and while the spit's flying down, they're having a conversation, and he's telling a story about he went to the past, and he was speaking to Leonardo da Vinci, and because he's gay and he fancied him, so Leonardo was married already. So then they did their business, and they're just sitting on.
Gay?
Basically, the guy's telling the story is gay, and he's saying that he went back to sleep with Leonardo da Vinci, but Leonardo da Vinci already had a partner, but he was cheating on his partner with him.
Okay.
Basically, after they did it, Leonardo started crying, and then he basically told him a story, and it's a pretty funny story. You definitely need to read this, because it's a pretty deep story. And he's telling the story, and while he's telling it, it's just the spit going down, flying down. So it's just panel after panel, and then after the about 2 pages of it, and then once he's finished the story, you've got another prisoner downstairs, and it just lands on his head, and you're like, yeah, it's just I don't know. This is probably one of the best book of the year for me, definitely. So yeah, Mr. Miracle, definitely read it. It's stunning. It is proper stunning. The artwork in it, the story in it, just the feels you get from reading it is dope.
I'm sure I've got a volume 1 either pre-ordered or in my basket ready to buy when I've got money. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah, definitely read that if you can. Yeah, and that's it from me, I think. I wanted to speak about Thor as well, because I know you read it, but
yeah, go ahead.
Well, what did you think of it?
I loved it. So I like that he's kind of what it seems to me. I'm still binge reading the rest of it, but it's like he's God of Thunder by default.
Yeah.
Which I like, and he doesn't have a hammer. Spoilers, by the way. And also like where he's trying to take on. So obviously because of was it Asgard obviously blew up, and because of that Odin's his vault with all his precious treasures like scattered around the universe. Yeah. So obviously he's trying to gather as many as he can. And then when he comes on, is the planet called Sirak?
No, he's on Earth. He's on Earth.
He was on Earth.
He was on Earth.
This tribe of people that worship the Sirak. And obviously Juggernaut is the one who has the power of Sirak, so he comes out, and you couldn't even take Juggernaut down without a hammer. And I love that the first hammer it was sent to him smashed, which was I thought was hilarious. But getting to my point, I just love how this Thor is going to be using more than one hammer to fight people.
Yeah,
he's going to constantly be having the elves make more hammers. I liked that. I like the minor cameo from sorry, I should say his name, Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And I liked the one with my favorite bit, and I think this was my favorite bit because I didn't see what happened next, was with the Submariner.
Oh right, yeah.
And you know, some epic battle took place, but you're not gonna see this fight. I love that. I was thinking, oh, what's gonna happen next? And you turn to the next page, it's like, oh, but you won. But you know it was a sick fight. You know something deep happened in that fight.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is really good. I like when Loki came back because Thor's just living on a boat now with his goat.
I wasn't even expecting that, and the dog Fury.
Yeah, Thor's funny, man. I love that dog.
Fury came in Odin's Son, right? No, in Unworthy 4.
Yeah.
That dog's hilarious.
That dog's good. So yeah, thought Loki comes on the boat. He's just sitting there, and what was he trying to do again? Because Loki needed his.
He wanted him to basically, if you want to get the rest of Odin's stuff.
Yeah,
he to go here and do this, but I forgot why he was doing that.
Yeah, he was just playing his games and saying, "I would help you, but you have to do something for me. And I won't tell you what it is until the mission's done."
I see, yeah, but then he sent Thor wherever, and Thor's like, "No, you're coming with me."
They went to he sent him to hell basically, but hell's frozen over.
Yeah.
So it's a good story, wicked story, and then they had a backup story at the end as well.
Oh god, yeah! Oh my god, the backup story.
Yeah.
Oh my days! I can't wait to read it. We have to wait till issue 5 before we find out what happens next as well.
Yeah. I was peed off about that. I went back and I was like, issue 5.
That's what I did. I did the same thing. I did the same thing. So basically, what that is that you've got Thor's granddaughters, the goddesses of war. I forgot what they were doing, but anyway, basically, Thor comes down.
It was kind of was it like the end of the universe kind of thing?
Yeah. Jane Foster had died, didn't
it? So basically, I think what this was from. This was I think it carried on from Jason Aaron's run on Thor. I think it was Godkiller. With what's his name? But then Galactus came back. Earth was pretty much no life on it, and Galactus still wanted to eat it, basically finally take Earth. But they had a fight. Can't really go into it because it's major spoilers, and you should really read it. But
be reading it.
Something happens, and then life is coming back to Earth again. So there's two people now. I think it was Jane and Steve. Instead of Adam and Eve, it was Jane and Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this was basically the end of Jane's. It's not Jane Foster.
Oh, it's not Jane Foster.
No. I don't think it was. I don't think it was anyway. But it was the end of her life basically, and there was all her kids were there as well. But she was kind of like the oldest woman, the first and oldest woman. So she basically passed, and the hammer. He didn't have the hammer anymore, did he?
No.
And then his one of his daughters was asking him why does he not have the hammer, and then suddenly the hammer came back.
The hammer comes back
and whispers to him, and he's got to go off somewhere, and a surprising character comes back.
Yeah,
very surprising character, which we shouldn't really say. But
should we say it? No,
we shouldn't, because I think this has got something to do with what's actually happening in some comics going on at the moment as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I won't say it.
Yeah.
It was a nice little tease. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, defo.
Wait for 4 more issues before we find out.
Yeah. But even the main story was good anyway, so.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, even back to the main story, I like the bit with Jane Foster where she's obviously sending Thor to these, she's obviously got her intel. And then she's saying, oh, was it the people who, and Thor's like, yeah. And she's all like, oh. Like, you can tell she still wants to be Thor.
Yeah.
She's missing it. She's like, can I touch the hammer? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, no.
I love it's great. What I think is great about that, going into the that Mighty Thor comic that was released recently, is what was it, Mighty Thor? Where it's got like again, it's got Thor's granddaughters in it, and they're traveling through time. They're traveling through time, and they want to. They're looking for they're looking for Thor, and you think it's obviously their grandfather, but it turns out they were looking for Jane Foster. Did you read that?
I don't think I did actually.
Oh, that was a really good issue.
Was that Return to Valhalla or something?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Return to Valhalla.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
That was a good read. And when they find Jane Foster, basically it's suggesting that she's not done. Something's going to happen, and she will be for again. Because the way they were talking, yeah, it seems like she's not. Jane Foster is not done as Thor.
Okay.
We may get two. We may have a male and female Thor at the same time, which I think will be pretty cool because apparently they're setting up for a war that's about to happen. So,
sweet.
If you get your chance, you can read Return to Valhalla as well.
It's at the gates of Valhalla.
Yeah, that's it. Read that.
I do need to read that. I do like his granddaughters as well. They are pretty
they're funny.
He was gonna go through Flash War.
Flash War issue part 2. It's part 2. That as well was such a good read. So basically, Wally West, Bart Allen, Iris West, and Wallace West have been taken to the future by
the future.
Yeah, by not the Rogues. They're called the future version of the Rogues. Let's just put it that way. And it was basically Hunter Zolomon who brought them there, and he wanted to talk to Wally West. So it's just Wally and Hunter Zolomon, who's Professor Zoom, by the way, and he's basically saying, I used to be a friend of yours way back when, and Wally's like, I don't believe you, Nate. He touches him, and he remembers him as his version of the Reverse Flash back when Wally was, the Flash. And what Hunter Zolomon is saying is that you had a family, you had a wife, you had 2 kids that you almost didn't even remember, and a few others, and they're basically saying they're trapped in the Speed Force, and if you want them back, you need to run through the Speed Force and you need to break it, and that will release everybody. That will release your kids. That will release. Obviously, it's saying it will release Wally West's kids, but also I'd imagine it's saying it would release everyone else, like Max Mercury and Bart Allen and whoever else is trapped in the Speed Force. And Wally basically feels like, okay, what if this guy's telling the truth? And then Barry comes in and is like, "What are you doing listening to this guy? Since when do we listen to the ones who dress in yellow?" What he's like. But what if it's true? So what he's like, you know what? I'm doing this, and if you try and stop me, I'm going to make sure you never run again. So what he runs, it's really.
And what he's faster than Flash's Barry as well, right?
The funny thing is they're not saying it, and the way you know that Wally West is faster is because he's got the blue lightning.
Right.
Your lightning is different color depending on how close you are to the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So Barry Allen's is orange. Or yellow, or orangey yellow, so he's like in the middle, if that makes sense. But what he's faster, and Barry's basically saying, I've been where you are. Remember, I lost my mom, and I went back in time, and I almost destroyed everything. And then Wally's like saying this is different, as he would say.
Yeah,
but it's really setting up the conflict between these two. So the way it ends is basically Wally running off, and I'd imagine the next issue is where you will actually see the two of them fight, because obviously Barry's going to try and stop him and try and talk sense into him.
Yeah.
And Wally is like, these are my kids.
Yeah.
And it kept showing flashbacks of Wally when he was with his kids, teaching them how to hone their powers, which was a cool little. Yeah. So he's.
Was it a tearjerker?
Sorry, it was actually, because his character was really, really struggling. I was like, damn, this guy could just not catch a break. Do you know what I mean? I remember in a previous issue when he was having his brain aneurysms or whatever. I forgot they were calling it in the comic, but he was saying there's always something since I've had my powers. There was a point where I had them where I was almost gonna die. Then I get trapped in the Speed Force and get pulled out. Now I'm back and I have a heart condition. Do you know what I mean? Wally West really gets shit on. He really gets shit on, and it's like, just give the guy a break. But this was really good. I mean, Josh, did you read it, right?
I read Prelude and 1, and I'm halfway through 2.
Okay.
yeah, man, it's been really good so far. Like I like how it's proper delving into like what he's thinking, like about how he's dealing with the situation, and you know, stuff's kind of just like coming back. And it's kind of like all the reflections of, well, Barry done it, or Barry's had a similar thing, but he hasn't had all the same, you know, he came back or whatever and everything was good, and I've come back and I ain't getting none of that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? No one even remembers who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got nothing outside of the suit. I'm not. I don't have a yard. I ain't got. Do you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no pee. So I like how it's built up into that, and it's kind of like the tension from the beginning up until that point has been building that whole time.
Yeah,
I think it's been dope.
I like in a previous issue where he was really struggling with having all these flashes of what he remembered that isn't around anymore. So what he did was he ran to the Flash Museum to kind of calm down, and he's there and he's looking, Wally West that is, and he's looking in the Flash Museum, and there was a statue of Barry that he used to look at because it used to really calm him down when Wally was the Flash and Barry Allen wasn't around, and he used to look to it for inspiration. And then Barry comes up and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I used to love coming here as a kid, especially when you weren't around, because I used to look at that statue of you. I used to look at that statue of you and it used to bring me hope." And then Barry was like, "What are you talking about? There's no statue here." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We're in the Flash Museum." He's like, "Wally, the Flash Museum hasn't been built yet."
Oh,
and then if I could show you the image of the drawing of how they drew Wally's face.
I'm gonna read it, man.
Wait, I've got it right here.
I'm gonna read it, man.
The image of Wally's face, I was like, "Oh my god, this poor guy, man." Because because the way they did it is like the two of them are standing in the Flash Museum.
Yeah.
And they're talking, and then Barry's like had to burst the bubbles, like, "Wally, the Flash Museum's not been built yet." I was like, "Ooh." Like he's really going through it. And it's true, like what Josh was saying. Barry was trapped in the Speed Force at once upon a time, and Wally brought him out.
Yeah.
And everything was just hunky-dory for Barry. But Wally goes in, and his world is just turned to
upside down, man.
Yeah. His wife doesn't remember him. His kids aren't even there. His aunt, the one person he loved more in the world was his Aunt Iris, and she didn't remember him. But what's funny is that every time Wally's like, "Oh, remember such and such," like when he mentioned his kids,
he didn't remember them at first.
He didn't remember them at first, but when he did remember them, Iris was like, "Oh yeah, I used to babysit those two all the time." You know what I mean? So good. So
good. I will. I'm gonna read it this week. I will read it this week. You said issue 2, right?
It's on issue 2. It's basically still the Flash comics, but it's like part 2 of this story.
Okay.
It's issue 45. I can't remember what issue it is, but yeah, you'll see it. It's got Flash War on the cover.
Cool.
But if you haven't read Flash War, if you're not reading Flash War, I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best comics that's out at the moment. Which was even that article I was saying. It's like if they were to retcon what's going on with the Flash as well, I'll be like, oh, don't do it. I feel like they're using Flash War to retcon what was wrong in the first place. So why would they have to change the whole thing? But anyway,
crazy. Did you want to speak about Power Rangers, Josh?
Yeah, so I'll quickly do Power because there was actually 2 issues. Number 28. Last time I think I spoke about issue 27.
Yeah, 28.
No, 28. Sorry. Last time I spoke about 26. 27 is what I read, and 28 is coming out today. Yeah. So last time or whatever, am I even remembering right?
I think you were saying that there was 2 teams or something, was there?
Yeah. So basically, there was what's happened now is that so Jen, obviously she came from the future and all that stuff. Lord Dracon has started invading all the different timelines to get the Power Rangers and get their morphers so that he can take their powers and put it into his own Ranger army or whatever. And what has happened is basically there's like 2 side stories. In I think it's Power Rangers Annual, they've got all the side stories, so you see when he invades all these different times in the Power Ranger universe or whatever, and attacks these Rangers. Now, in that, it's sick because they go to Zeo, and it's, you guys might actually remember Zeo, innit? Like,
I remember Zeo.
Yeah. So at the end of Zeo, yeah, when Jason loses his powers in it or whatever. So it's basically like the end of that. Like he's about to leave, and they give him like a memento of his fixed Mighty Morphin morpher, and it's just been repaired. But they're like, don't use it; it's still broken. But aesthetically, it's been repaired or whatever. And he sits with Tommy on top of the command center or whatever. They have a talk, and then he's like, "All right, guys, I'm off. Bye." So Jason leaves. So they go back inside. All the rest of the Rangers are like messing about and whatever. And then Adam sees Tommy in the corner and he teleports away in it. And he has a green teleport instead of his red one because he's a Red Ranger now in it or whatever. And he's like, "What's he up to?" So then we go back to a warehouse where this Tommy has the original Red Zeo Tommy tied up. Lord Dracon was in disguise, and he's got his holographic mask. And then he's taken their morphers as well. And he's like, "You bet." The Tommy of this universe, like, "You better not have killed them or whatever." He's like, "I didn't kill them. I could have, but I didn't." He's like, "I don't understand why they idolize you so much. Like, what's so special about you? Like, you're just Tommy. Like, there's nothing special about you." Then he kills him, fam. Spoilers. He kills him, fam. He says, he says, "I'm surprised you're still alive," because obviously he went back and killed the other Tommy in it. So he's like, the timeline hasn't set
cool
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he just slices him, fam, and he was already tied up in the chair. I was like, "Oh, fucker, this guy is fucking." So I'll say, "You wanted to jump on the Power Rangers." Yeah, so then he kills him, and then he teleports away, and then it says, "To be continued" in Shattered Grid. Jumps to the next story, invasion of SPD. They kind of beat him or whatever, kind of ish, and then to be continued in the next story. Then it jumps to RPM. They kind of win, whatever, continue the next story. Then it jumps to In Space, yeah, which is, I like this one because there was this point that I always made about Power Rangers in Space, which was the leader, Andros, was a shit leader. Basically, for those that don't know, when they went into space, the Blue Ranger, that stupid kid Justin that everyone hated.
Was he the one who was...
Yeah, he was the one that was the Blue Ranger in Turbo, and in the movie, in it, that replaced Rocky. So he stayed on Earth, and the rest of the Rangers went into space after the command center got destroyed, innit? So they haven't got any powers. They go into space, and then they meet Andros, who's the Red Space Ranger, and he gives them all their powers. The Red Ranger from Turbo now becomes the Blue Ranger, innit? But in the season, he has all these like leader moments. He still says, "Right, guys, this is the plan that we need to do." Like when they fight the Psycho Rangers and all that stuff, he's the one that thinks how to beat them. Whereas Andros is like kind of, he's red, but he's not really the leader. He's just, "I want to find my sister," all this stuff, selfish. So in this comic, yeah, him and like Andros and TJ, who's the Blue Ranger now, they have a little argument, innit? He's like, "We're meant to be going on missions and doing stuff. We're just sitting here doing nothing," whatever. And they're having an argument, and Lord Dracon's watching them, and he says, "This leadership, pathetic." And I was just like, exactly. He's a rubbish Red Ranger. That's it. For everyone else, that's probably nothing, but for me, I always thought that, innit? So Dracon invades, yeah. He comes in their ship, and then he's got Alpha 5 in it, or actually I think it's Alpha 6, whatever, which alpha it is. And he comes on their communications. He's like, "Hand over your morphers, and you'll all be cool in it. I won't fuck you up." Straight away, Red Ranger morphs in it. Yeah, let's rock it, whatever. Does his morph, and then they can detect when they morph in it. So he's like, "Oh, already I can see that your leader has disobeyed my rules." And he just crushes off his head, fam. Like one time. This guy's not ramping about.
This just doesn't sound like the old school Power Rangers I used to watch, man. It really doesn't. It sounds more like that third-party film that they did, where everyone's
yeah. It's like that. It's a bit like that, but it's not like that. But it's you know what I'm saying. It's just because this guy's fuckery all in their own separate universes, or whatever. It's literally like Power Rangers, but like good. You know what I'm saying? Like, not rubbish. Like this is the stuff like you want this in a TV series or something.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that you would see it more in like Justice League or Batman, the animated series, but you wouldn't see it in Power Rangers, even though they're all for kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It sounds sick, man.
Yeah, he kills that Alpha, and then like the Blue Rangers hide, and then he turns their Astro Mega ship into Megazord mode, innit? So all the guards and stuff start getting squashed by the doors and all this stuff. And then Draco just comes out, and then he just fucks up the Red Ranger. And then the end bit is he's beat all the other Rangers or whatever, and he's coming after the Blue Ranger. The Blue Ranger's already figured out if I don't morph, you won't be able to find me or whatever, innit? And then what happens is Dracon finds him, and then he dashes him in space.
What? No protection, no.
Yeah. I don't get like basically he's like got like some space helmet breathing thing on or whatever, and then he pulls these wires out. And then Dracon just cuts the cable that he's coming from, and then the next panel is just him in space floating, and his hands start freezing, fam. Then to be continued again, and I'm like, oh shit! And so yeah, that was All Star, and then Power Rangers 28 or whatever is they have some little throwbacks. He's like Dracon comes back to his universe, and his Finster 5 or whatever. He's like an amalgam of Finster and Alpha 5. He's like, oh, what was it like going back and seeing the Zero Rangers? I know you had like a close bond with them or whatever. And he was like, it was nothing. I don't understand why they idolized their Tommy so much. And then, because it was this, I was reading this, and then it said in the little box, read Power Rangers volume whatever. Yeah. And I went, oh, right, let me go back. And then I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, so basically, the Rangers are stretched out in it. They got to split up and go into different teams to try and resolve different issues that are happening. That's basically the long story short. So basically, the Red Ranger, Jason, and the Pink Ranger, Jess, from Time Force, they go to Corinth, the alternate universe where RPM is, to go and meet Dr. K, and they take the Tyrannosaurus with them. The RPM Rangers are about to get like beaten. They've been fighting these guys for ages. And then Tyrannosaurus just comes and then just whacks all these Sidemen Rangers away. It's sick, man. And then, and then Dracon comes, and they're like, oh shit, to be continued. And I was like, oh! So long story short, but there was so much to say.
Yeah, the long story short, right?
Yeah.
The long story no lie, I'm going to pick up my volume 1. I know it's way away from where you are, but I'm starting that tonight.
Oh, yeah, for real, it does.
Bro, get on it, pal.
Too much to read, man.
Tonight, I keep saying, every time you mention it, I'm like, this just sounds so exciting.
Tonight, everyone that I've put onto this Power Rangers comic has come back and gone, oh yeah, that Power Rangers comic.
No.
So where should we start then? So I've not read any. So should I start?
So basically, I mean, you could start. Basically, there's two things. Like, if you don't want to go back and read like everything or whatever.
It's Mighty Morphin, Time Force, and is there another one?
Yeah, so basically the comics are Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Go-Go Power Rangers. Go-Go Power Rangers is all the stuff that's happening before the Green Ranger comes.
Oh, okay.
And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is all the stuff that happens after. But like, you don't have to read one to read the other, though they do make like references sometimes to stories that have happened in the other one, but they'll say read Go-Go Power Rangers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not like necessity. And if you just want to read the Shattered Grid stuff, then you could start at like 25 or 20. I think 24 is like the prelude, and then 25 it starts, and then 26, 27, and 28 is coming out today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then as well, Comic Historian has, like I said, he's got one thing that so you can kind of like, if you're behind, you don't want to go all the way back, you can catch up on like Lord Dracon and stuff like that.
Alright, cool, man.
Volume one of Go-Go Power Rangers isn't even out yet. You got to pre-order it. It's not out till September. So the graphic novel, that is. That can wait then. That's fine.
I think Go-Go Power Rangers is on like issue 9, I think.
12, I think.
12.
Now I'm gonna start with my Morphin, like hands down.
But dude, so it's like even the Mighty Morphins, like they come out with so many different like cover arts and issues or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like my number one, with the Green Ranger fighting the putties and Scorpina and that. Like the artwork is fucking sick. Oh look, here we go. Scorpina versus the Green Ranger.
Nice.
The Megazord and Goldar in the background. Like, and there was so many alternate versions of these covers.
Yeah,
And they were all like special edition, limited edition. And I think they've released like a book, which is like a tribute to all the artists that have done artwork for it. And it's just like a madness.
All right.
So sick.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Power Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, man.
We've given you a nice dose, like some good information on some comics, like that we're just genuinely excited about. Go out and read these things.
Defo. All right, so let's quickly do the pull list.
Yes.
Quickly do this because we've been on for quite some time.
Sorry, guys, we do get excited.
Yeah, all that excitement, man. All these exciting comics. So as Josh was just saying, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 28 is out today. Well, do I even need to read it? Yeah, I'm just gonna buy it anyway, man. That's Boom Studios, DC Comics. We got Batman 49, The Best Man, Part 2. Last issue, the Joker's back, talking his crud. Batman didn't say a word in that comic, but he's now it's up to Catwoman to rescue her one true love. It's the Cat versus the Clown in one exciting showdown that sets the stage for our giant anniversary issue and the biggest union in comics. Justice League issue 2, the Totality Part 2. The League faces an impossible decision, and now they must face the consequences while Martian Manhunter and Batman attempt to recruit an old ally back into the fold. The Flash and the Hawk Girl are blindsided by new challenges that could rewrite their mythologies.
I need to read.
I wanted to pick that up. That's what I wanted to get today, but the comic book store was closed.
Yeah.
Shout out Krypton Comics.
Is anyone read issue 1?
No, I was gonna. That's what I wanted to pick up today.
I'm reading Avengers. I need to like read them both and be like, all right, which one's doing it for me? Because I need to I need to decide what comics I'm reading because everything's new at the moment. I don't know what to read.
Yeah.
So much.
There's so many new stuff now, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of new, Man of Steel issue 4, Rogul Zar has committed a string of atrocities across the cosmos that have led him to the Fortress of Solitude, and now Superman and Supergirl plan to crush his schemes, but even two Kryptonians enough to stop his sinister machinations.
No, get 3 Kryptonians.
Yeah, who's the third one?
Crypto.
Crypto the dog. From Image Comics, we've got Skyward issue 3, Mylogy Life Part 3, Trapped in the Streets. Widow thought she'd get help from the richest man in Chicago. Chi-Town.
Chicago.
Roger Barrow, who happens to be her dad's old friend. Instead, Barrow wants to kill him. And now, thanks to Willa, Barrow can finally find where her dad's hiding. Oops, Willa finds herself in a way over her head as she's forced to go on the run. Hit Girl number 5, leaving behind her Colombian bloodbath. Mindy is locked, loaded, and ready to seriously mess up some Canadians. Jeff Lemire and Eduardo Risso take on Mark Miller's psychotic 12-year-old Hit Girl for the next stop in her blood-soaked world tour. No amount of ice or snow will prevent Mindy from slaughtering her latest enemies. Variant covers from awesome Canadian artist Carl Kershaw and Kick-Ass number 5 connecting cover from Ozgur Yaldarim.
Oh, that is a funny name. Ozgur Yildirim.
Turkish.
It's got little dots over the U's and
butchered that name.
I was just gonna say
German Turkish actually.
He's Turkish.
Yeah, German Turkish.
I was going to say Jeff Lemire as a writer is one of my favorite writers. So
yeah,
I didn't know it was Jeff Lemire doing Hit Girl, so I might have to just
pick that up.
Get some Hit Girl, yeah. Jeff Lemire.
Add it to the list.
Jeff Lemire. Oh, he's so
to the list. From Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man 801. This is it. After 10 years, Dan Slott's final issue. I can't wait for that Fantastic Four. And he isn't pulling any punches. Joined by one of the best illustrators in the beers, Marcus Martin. Amazing Spider-Man 801 is one of the most emotional, heartfelt tales, not only in Dan's run, but in all the mighty Marveldom itself, and is one of Marvel fans around the world won't want to miss.
Hold up. 801 is Dan Slott's last one.
Yeah, I thought it was 800.
Ooh, I thought it was 800. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I gotta get one more Spider-Man issue.
One more.
I'm definitely giving him a break after this Spider-Man days. I still got a bunch to read.
Well, you gotta carry on reading Spider-Man. It's another writer, so it's gonna be a new writer. So
everything's new.
It's all new, as long as it's not number one, man.
How many number ones have we had this year? Anyways.
Yeah. Speaking of number one, Doctor Strange number 2. Even the hoary host of Hogarth can't hear you scream. Stephen Strange is a little out of his element, traveling the galaxy, and it shows. Powerless, friendless, and far from home, Doctor Strange is just an earthling who needs to convince a stranger that he's worth saving. Meanwhile, a hostile civilization discovers Earth's existence and a new adversary to his wanton, unpaid spell casting. So yeah, I said like I said the other week, they're kind of going through stuff that we've read before. So I'm gonna give this another couple issues and see where it goes. You know,
number one.
Yeah. This is the worst one actually, because not only is it number 1, it's got 20 bloody variant covers as well.
Oh, Marvel.
Tony Stark, Iron Man, issue 1. Dan Slott.
What up, Dan?
What up, Dan? And Valerio Shitty.
That shit.
I'm the Lord of Butchers, and I
know there's an I at the end of it. My bad. It's she.
Is it? Okay. From
you just went to say shit, fam.
It's probably my reading that shit, which it is. From the cusp of tomorrow's dreams to the forefront of imagination, one man always soars on the cutting edge of adventure. You know his name. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and Iron Man is an idea, always changing, always evolving, an idea without limit. Take wing on Dan Slott and Valerio Shitty as they propel the ultimate self-made hero to new heights of inventiveness. Tony Stark is Iron Man. The future is now. Strap in and buy all those 20 variant covers.
Oh, God.
All right, thanks.
Last and not least is X-Men Gold, issue 30, Till Death Do Us. This is actually Kitty and Colossus' wedding. Well, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today for the ultimate union. After a lifetime of will they, won't they, new boyfriends and ex-girlfriends, Kitty and Colossus are finally walking down the aisle together. But so I've heard, this is actually a special issue, and there's a surprise, a lovely surprise.
What's the race?
A lovely surprise that we've all been waiting for, and I wish I could say, but the comics just come out today, so I won't spoil it. But
I don't know.
I'm getting it, and I will explain it next week.
Professor Xavier's back, isn't he? He's alive.
No. It's well, he is back actually.
Is he?
He is kind of back. Yeah.
Well, we'll go to that another time, I guess.
Yeah, but X-Men Gold issue 30. I think this is one you should buy and keep. Probably buy 2 issues and keep in the cupboard for some time, because I think people are going to be after this one.
Yeah, well, payday is about a week away. Then I'll buy some comic books.
Yeah. So that's it for the pull list, and that's it for issue 26.
Damn, good game, guys. Good game.
Yeah.
Free claps.
Nice.
For all of those watching, or who's going to watch, or will watch in the future, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Also, finally, even though it took 10 years longer than it was meant to, all our Comic-Con stuff will be coming out now as well. So keep an eye on that. Like it, share it. Look for people that you might have seen and or heard of in life, or you know them or whatever. It will all be on the Instagram. It will be on the YouTube. You know, I'm putting the's in front of everything like I'm some kind of grandma. But, you know, check the video on the socials and another word with there in front of it.
Yeah.
Interwebs.
And if you need to find us on the socials, we are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, and email as well. If you want to drop us an email, chit chat, give us some questions, you know, we're there, we're here. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, live long and prosper.
Peace and chicken grease.